Hi, I'm Gary Strigler. What I want to share with you today is something that's really near and dear to my heart, and that's how to get the very best results when you're pocket screwing joints together. If you watch any videos at all that I've done, you probably see me use pocket hole joinery to put things together, basically Kreg, what I might call Kreg joints. And there's lots of different ways that you can make the cuts for that joint. I mean, here's an example of a piece, got two holes. Kreg sells machines probably from everything from maybe $40 up to several $1,000s. But all those machines make the same hole, it's just how fast do you make it. But I want to share some of the things. You know, the goal when we put wood together is to get a good strong joint as quickly as possible with a minimum of sanding, and Kreg does that for me. But there's several things that we want to kind of go over. They're going to help you make sure that you get a really good joint. So one of the first things is it's really helpful if all of your material is the same thickness or close to the same thickness. Then the next thing is you really need to have square, clean edges. In other words, I don't want saw curves or anything rough. If this edge is on a little bit of an angle, that's the way the joint's going to go together. Same thing with this end. This needs to be cut square, because if it's 1 degree out, by golly, that's the way the joint's going together. 1 degree out. And so we don't want any of those things. Now, I also always use glue in these joints, unless it's something I'm going to be taking apart. One of the nice things about using pocket hole joinery, it actually can give you a temporary joint. You know, if you need something that for like a temporary spacer or something, you can pocket screw something in there and then take it back out. But generally speaking, what we're looking for is, you know, how to make a really strong joint. The vast majority of everything I do is 3/4 of an inch thick. So they have two different types of, well, they may have more than that, but generally I'm either going to use, this is a coarse thread screw. It's 1 1/4 coarse thread screw. This is a fine thread screw, and generally speaking, for softwoods and plywoods, you want to use the coarse thread screw. For going into hardwoods, you want to use this fine thread screw. So one of the things that I would want to show you again is we always want to clamp the joint. One of the other things I didn't think about, depending on the width, again, I can go down to probably about 1.5 inches and put 2 screws in. But when I get to a wider piece, I'm going to probably want to put 3 in there. So I mentioned that we always want to clamp. So I want to show you that I use 3 different types of clamping. By the way, there is one principle that I almost forgot that I need to show, and that is when I'm putting a pocket hole joint together, we always want the screws coming through the end grain into the edge grain. That edge grain is what's going to hold the screw. If I were to try to screw from this into that end grain, it'd be a much, much weaker joint, might even crack, okay? So always remember, you know, that you want to screw through the end grain. Now, occasionally I have done things where I'm actually joining wood like this. You know, then you're going edge grain to edge grain. But anyway, most of the time, our rule is make sure you come out of the end grain and into the edge grain. Okay, so this is a project that some cabinets I'm building in the shop. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look, good deal. This is all nice and straight. I'm going to grab some glue, put it right there. And this is a clamp I like a lot, because all I have to do, this little kind of a port, I just drilled a 3/4 inch hole in my top, and then there's a washer that goes underneath it. So basically any place that I can drill a 3/4 inch hole, I can use this. And I still like, I'm an old-fashioned guy, they have with some clamps that adjust automatically. I still like the ones I just do a little turning myself, and part of that is because the vast majority of the material that I use is 3/4 inch thick material. So adjusting for thickness is not a big deal for me. Oh, especially on a wide board, you want to move the clamp back and forth, because if you want to drive the screw right where the clamp is. And also we want to have, if you look at the way I'm doing this, most of the clamping pressure is on the board that's receiving the screw. The screw is coming in there at a slight angle, so it's going to naturally push this piece down, okay? All right. And one of the things I love about it, I've shared it in the past, but the fact that I'm getting to put this together one joint at a time. But I've already got a very smooth, flat joint, and it's a strong joint. It's going to get a little stronger as the glue dries, but still, it's really a good joint. See if I can reach through here and show you all this without dropping it. Yeah, so anywhere I can drill a hole, I drop this in, tighten that up. Of course, this is a Kreg product. Now, another one that I really like is this plate clamp. It's got a nice big clamp. This one's probably got a little bit more glue on it than it ought to have, but you really want to keep that scraped down pretty good. I use this all the time also. And the thing about this is I could move this anywhere on my work table that I wanted to. Whereas, and there are work tables, I know you can buy them, they have holes in a grid, and in that instance you can use that clamping where you want to. All right, let's see here. Whoops, this is the piece I want. All right, put a little glue on. Look down this. I love it when I get material that's super straight. By the way, this is beech, so I'm using the fine screws, because beech is definitely a hardwood. One of the things I had to learn is how to be left-handed sometimes. And I'm not as good left-handed. In fact, I've noticed there's quite a few things that don't work quite as well as about 25 years ago when I first started using pocket screws. My eyesight, my hand-eye coordination. Anyway. I hope I'm just going to get to keep on. All right, so that's how this clamp works. Now, there might be a time, this is the simplest clamp. This is the first clamp that I ever used. And, if there was a time that I needed to maybe make a joint where I wasn't on the table, or, just if I didn't own one of those clamps, this clamp will work fine. Now, I am in a situation where I need to go ahead and put the glue on both ends of this piece now, right? All right. So, yeah, I'm trying to make it to where most of the clamp is still on the piece that's going to receive the screw. I didn't drop near as many screws back in the day when I started either. All right. All right. So that is the 3 different clamping options. I've kind of given you the basic rules. There is one other thing that I might just share real quick is, for this frame, everything that's lined up on the corners. But if I needed to, put a board out here instead of flushing the edge, I would put a couple of indexing marks, and that way I know that's right where I need to make that joint. But anyway, this is probably by far, for me, the way that I do more wood, putting more wood together, joining more wood, and there's lots of other applications. But again, the most basic application for a Kreg jig and pocket hole joinery is putting a frame together. There are other companies that make jigs and things, but I'm going to tell you, Kreg is my go-to, and you won't be sorry using any of their equipment.